I am finally putting on the Tomei. What is up guys? I am finally putting on the Tomei. If you're OG, you probably seen that exhaust was probably about a year ago, if not longer. Today I'm finally gonna put it on my V35 Skyline. Make sure you watch to the end because I am going to show you everything you will need to know and you will need to have the perfect fitment Tomei on your G35. And as you guys can see, the car is already on the jack stand. I am using 350Z Tomei instead of G35 Tomei. I am actually running a factory titanium exhaust, and if you want to see about that exhaust, go watch this video right here. And in my opinion, this exhaust is probably a little bit cooler than Tomei, but I just want to go try out the Tomei, and also this exhaust is super rare, so I do not want to damage it or scratch it in any way. Now just before we start, just want to appreciate how nice these valves are. They are just art, like literally, like look at this. Come on guys, this is, I know all of these are done by the machine, but still, like, it's fuck man, like this is just, you know, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I know I've talked about, you know, how Tomei doesn't sound 100% great, at least in the video. They're just always so loud and raspy and all that kind of stuff, but I think a lot of it is to do with test pipe, and I'm still running factory cats, so we'll see how it sounds. And you get like a juice silencer sort of set up, get clamps, bolts, gasket, you know, a little goodie bag with some stickers and all that kind of stuff. So pretty excited. So as you guys can see, I've got my old exhaust out. The Tomei is definitely lighter, but I think the way they weld it up is different. So if you look at the Tomei, right, it's like pie cut and machine welded, like very clean, very tidy, very thin material, I would say. Whereas this is, you know, FGK, which is Fujitsu, really famous Japanese brand, one of the biggest brand for exhaust, for aftermarket exhaust. And they also make, believe it or not, they actually make genuine OEM factory exhaust. So look at their material, right? I feel like their material is definitely a lot thicker. The welding is stronger. Might not be as pretty, but definitely stronger. But mind you, look at those welds. They're really nice and tidy, nice coloring, really small, tidy. So hard to say, but definitely different welding technique or different way of processing. This I think would definitely last longer compared to Tomei, just because how they were made. They were made with more material, more bracing, more support. Now just before I start, a lot of people, including myself, have questioned about like what size extension to get if you are running a 350Z Tomei on your G35. Now since the wheelbase is 8-inch difference, a lot of people just ends up running the 8-inch one, which is this one. And while that would work, the problem is the bore will be sticking inside of your back bumper by quite a bit, and it'll start burning your bumper, and also it just looks ugly too. But also running this, there is one benefit, is on the mid part right here there's an exhaust hanger, And that, if you're using the 8-inch one, would align with your factory hanger position perfectly. But if you are running 10-inch or like this one, 12-inch, then that hanger would not line up. It doesn't seem to affect the install, or in another word, exhaust is still holding up fine without that hanger. This is what I made. I welded it myself and it's absolutely ugly, but I mean, if it works, it works. So this is a 12-inch extension, which is 30 centimeters. So very important. If you want a good fitment, I think at least you have to go to 10 or 12-inch extension. Alright, you guys can see the extension is on there. This is actually a slightly longer than 12-inch extension. The reason I got rid of my extension is because it is not, well, even though when I welded it, it was parallel, but I think just from the heat and my shitty weld, it has warped the flange a little bit, so it's offset to its tiniest angle, even though you can't tell here. But once you put the Tomei back, connected up, that little mil of offset actually changed the whole angle of the Tomei. So I ended up getting this extension, which, funny enough, it was meant for a decat pipe, which is like a test pipe or downpipe for old RB series Skyline. They were surprisingly basically the same length as the extension I need, which is 12-inch. So this is 31.5 centimeters, which is just tiniest bit over 12-inch. Anyway, this is bolted up. The only thing is that Tomei mid pipe is sort of touching the W brace. I think part of the reason is because first, that all of that is not hooked up, and second, I can't run the hanger on the mid pipe, which I think in the next couple of videos I will work out a solution for that, because I do want to have that hanger to be utilized, not just sitting there doing nothing. So far, basically what I've done is I just slipped all these pipes on there with no bolts, no nothing, no clamp, no spring attached, just to sort of get it sitting in a rough position. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wiggle every single piece, and then by using the clamp to clamp around it to get a good fitment. So this is pretty easy. You just grab a plier and then you just pull as hard as you can, just like that. Pretty much that's what it looks like, and this is how it's fitting the bumper. It's not touching the bumper at all, and I just need to give that tighten down that bolt, and look at that. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, look at that, man, looks so good. So ready for the first cold start. All the bolts and nuts are all tightened down, and also I've gave the exhaust a wipe down. So I use one of these really soft, if you have a microfiber towel, that would be the best. Give it some WD-40, wipe it down so you get rid of your fingerprint. Otherwise, once you start up the car, the grease on your the oil on your finger is gonna get burnt into the exhaust. So you want to get rid of that. And yeah, look at how shiny she is. And without further ado, let's get this cold start going. max we've hit is 89, and that is about 4,000 RPM rev, 3.5 to 4, which is almost the loudest for the VQ. You know, when you drive a VQ, the minute you hit 3,500 RPM, it just screams. So 89 is not bad at all. Honestly, better than what I expected. Like, really. And just look at how nice this looks, eh? I have to be honest that I'm not a huge fan of how the exhaust is sort of pieced together. I think it's a cool concept that you use spring and you use clamp to sort of piece the exhaust together, and you can clock differently and get it to sort of fit differently as well. But I don't know, maybe it's because it's meant for Z, right? Some part is quite close to the sway bar and also quite close to the W brace as well, and I've managed to get it to sit in a way where it doesn't touch, but still it's pretty close, and I just don't feel that comfortable with it. So it would be a lot nicer if the exhaust is actually constructed all in one piece, and you just have a normal flange in the middle or something like that. I don't know what you guys think, let me know. But yeah, like, I just can't. I can't get over how quiet it is actually. Like that is not that loud at all. And it sounds freaking nice, like I have to say. But I think, I don't know why all those Tomei sound so trashy on Instagram Reels and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's because they are not running cats and they are running test pipe. So I don't know, but I guess we'll experience that as well and we'll see. And if you guys remember one of my previous video, I have a resonated Y pipe, XYZ Y pipe, and at the moment I'm just running HR Y pipe. And what I'm thinking is, turn the car off for a sec. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna run the XYZ Y pipe because there is extra resonator. I think it's gonna help it even more eventually when I do go test pipe. And part of the reason why it's not on the car is because you have like a V band set up on the XYZ pipe and XYZ Y pipe, and basically what that does is you can change to bigger resonator, smaller resonator, and a cat option if you want to. And now that is all cool, everything is all good, but the problem is that is hanging very, very low. Like the Y pipe itself hangs low as is, and not only that, the V band and the resonator hangs real low, like heaps lower than the chassis. So it keeps scraping and I'm not even low, and eventually my V band busted and yeah, it fell off. So I just ordered new V band and I'm looking forward to chuck that back on the car and see how it sounds. And here are some footage of outside of the car doing some flybys. Gonna give it a couple of pulls so you guys can hear the exhaust. It's actually pretty quiet. Like, it's loud, but it's not crazy loud, you know what I mean? Sounds pretty good. And the thing with this exhaust is, like, it doesn't have any drone, which is really hard to do. Like most of the exhausts, like they all have drone, and it's just gonna be constant droning when you're cruising, but not this one, surprisingly not.
Flybys.